Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined today by Brian Leonard at B Leonard Sports on Twitter and Dave Koken at Dave Koken on Twitter. Guys, here's an interesting game that I need talked out of. Philly catching 9 at New Orleans. Saints are freight train right now. They've covered 7 straight. Woo! I feel like it's time for it to derail. I want to take all the points with the Eagles here. The Eagles have got to win this game. Granted, they had to win that game versus the Cowboys. They're now in 3rd place in the NFC East. I don't know. The Saints team, I've had a good read on catching points. When they were a dog there those couple weeks was great. Now all of a sudden they're laying a ton of points. I took the bait last week with Cincinnati. Somebody help me here because I need to talk off this 9 points.
Okay, the Saints were my top play 2 weeks ago. Well, one of my top plays 2 weeks ago, and I went 4-0 against the Rams. They were the only play I made. I didn't like the schedule last week. I made one play. It was on the Saints, and they buried the Bengals. I didn't think it would be that lopsided. But the number 1 power-rated team in the NFL now is the New Orleans Saints. There are no weaknesses on this team. They are loaded. Since they got the other running back, Ingram, back now, every facet of their game is strong. The Eagles, it ain't 2017 anymore. Okay, last year was last year. Nobody's making plans for another parade down whatever street they had the parade in Philadelphia last year. They're an average football team right now, and that might even be stretching it a bit. This number keeps ticking up, and it's because the sharper guys, the numbers guys, are on the Saints. They know the line's too low, and they're right. I'm on New Orleans again.
So, Brian, look-ahead line was -6.5. We saw this one open 7.5 in some spots. Now it's up to 9. I really feel like I was getting 2.5 points of value here with this Eagles team. There's a big overreaction to how bad they played last week, how well the Saints played. But you agree with Dave.
I do agree with Dave. And just keep in mind, we talked about the Saints game last week. The terrible situation for them, the Bengals coming off the bye, having lost before that. It was just a tremendous situational spot for the Bengals, and the Saints just laid it to them right from the start. I agree with Dave. I've got the Saints even higher than the Rams at this point. The Eagles have cluster injuries in the backfield, defensive backfield. They also have been bad against opposing running backs. And every team has had a lot of success with little deep dunk passes with them. And the Saints have 2 running backs that can really, they can score a lot of points. I love the over here. I think the Saints are just going to score willingly. The Eagles, at least, they're having a 50% success rate offensively in 5 straight games. So they're moving the ball well. They're doing what they can, but that defense isn't going to be able to control these things. I like the over, and I like the favorite.
One thing to remember is that every year in the NFL, and it's basically every year, there's a team that just gets on one of these monster rolls. And it might look like there's value to go against them, but there just isn't because they get hot and they stay hot. The Saints are that team right now.
All right, good stuff, guys. Talking me off bet in Philadelphia. I appreciate it. WagerTalk Text Club. It's 100% free. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 and get a $10 coupon for signing up, plus free picks and other special offers.